Hey, Angus. Oh, hey, what's up, you guys? Come on out of there, I got some things to show you. Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another video with me, the Hobbyist. I am your humble announcer and narrator. Okay, let's get on with it. So, I just wanted to jump on the bandwagon of YouTube real quick and show you guys my small invertebrate and reptile collection. I only have one invertebrate, but I got a couple of reptiles, more coming, so I thought I'd just show you guys my whole process and how I do everything. So, let's get into it. Alright, so here, as you saw behind me, is my small reptile corner. All of that stuff is crafting things for Dungeons and Dragons, but, you know, just supplies of cardboard and stuff to use. But right over here is Angus. I just got done cleaning his tank. He's up there sunning himself on his antler. This is a 20 long tank with a bearded dragon in it. I've had him for a couple of weeks now. I got him from Petco as well as the tank, and I know what you're probably going to say, oh, Petco animal, blah blah blah, but I've adopted a lot of animals from the Petco here, and really, I've been to quite a few Petco and PetSmarts, and the Petco we have in my town, their staff actually know what they're talking about. I'm usually quite satisfied with the information they can give me. Even when I ask them things that not many people know, they usually know them. And the same staff have been working there for the past couple of years, so that's always good. There's not a high turnover rate. But anyways, Angus is a juvenile bearded dragon. He's got some really good color on him. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. He's really orange, but right now he seems really brown. Most of the time he's really orange. But he's sitting on top of his antler, and that's a dinosaur fossil under him and a fossilized bone behind him as well. This piece of gneiss and sandstone right there. I found all of this, and yes, I have washed it and everything. I just put his brand new corner bowl in there today right after cleaning his tank out. I don't have his food dish in there right now because I'm cleaning it, but he's doing well. He is switching over to Dubai roaches at the moment because I am switching over to Dubai roaches. I'm sick of breeding crickets. It is annoying and honestly kind of painstaking, so I'm just saying to hell with the with the crickets and switching over to Dubaias. But anyways, he's a good eater. He eats probably 4 or 5 Dubaias a day. On top of that, he doesn't really do a whole lot. He just sits around sunning himself. Light goes out, he goes to sleep. By the time I get up in the morning at around 9 o'clock, he's up and ready for the light to come back on. Yeah, he's not really all that used to being handled yet. I have taken him out almost every day to get him trained, to get him hand trained and everything, but he's still really jumpy. All of that instincts from being out in the wild is still in there. So he doesn't really like to be picked up right now. And I would get him out, but like I just said, he doesn't like to be picked up, and I just put him back in there from his tank being cleaned. So now we'll move on over to my firebelly toads. Alright, you guys, so right here are my firebelly toads. They are in a fully planted vivarium setup. This vivarium has been going for about a month now, the actual plants and everything in it, and everything is doing really well. I've got some ivy, or just vines right there, an umbrella plant. I'm not sure what that one back there is called, or this one, or that one, or that one, but that's okay. So right back here are my firebelly toads sitting back in their corner. See if I can get a good view of them. There we go, there's a nice view of them. That's Zeus and Hera. I did get a male and a female, I made sure of that. I'm pretty experienced with firebelly toads. It's pretty easy to tell them apart once you get used to them. So, but that's their water dish. I have not cleaned their water dish yet. I just got done with his tank and was about to move over to them and decided to take the video. But haven't cleaned their water dish yet. They've got this pretty deep, what looks like bark and wood water dish, but it's, you know, just porcelain or whatever they have at the pet store. They've got a hide right over here that they've dug under this rock. I've never seen them in it, but I assume they use it at night because every morning when I get up there, like this rock will be disturbed. It'll be moved over into the middle here, or this plant leaf will be pushed up. You know, they do disturb the area, so I assume they are actually using it I think one of them just I thought she was trying to grab a cricket for a second. But the crickets in here, they all like to hide. There's one back there, and they love to hide up there at the top. But yeah, they're doing really good. I have plans on putting a green anole in here once the umbrella plant gets established way over the top, because green anoles really enjoy all the foliage to be able to hide in. I have had green anoles in a tank with a firebelly toad before, and it works out really well. Basically, the firebelly toads are extremely clumsy eaters, and when you put in a cricket or anything like that that's going to climb, they will try their best to get at it, and by the time they have their fill, or most of them get away, all of the critters wander up the back of the enclosure straight up to where the green anole is, and they basically have no contact. And usually if you just go ahead and spray all the plants like I do every morning and night, the green anoles never come down. They never touch the floor because they don't need to. They drink off the plants. But I'll probably turn it into a green anole and a firebelly enclosure, and then at some point I will be turning this into a full vivarium once he gets older and needs to move out of there. There he is. And they will be switching over, and I will be putting a new surprise in here. So with that, let's head over to Jasmine. Alright you guys, so this is Jasmine's tank. She is an Asian forest scorpion. I've had her for probably 2 weeks now. It's the first invertebrate I've ever had, well, outside of collecting scorpions and stuff in my backyard when I was a little kid. But this is the first one that I've ever actually bought. And I am going to show her to you because I never get to see her. All I ever see are her scraps of her eating. She is constantly hid away in that skull right there. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at her. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to have to try to do this one-handed. I could put on my headset and stuff, but I don't really feel like it. There's a leaf in here because I don't know if you can see her in there, but she's there. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get a good look at her. Oh, she likes to do that. Alright, there she is. So that is Jasmine. Good girl. She is so highly aggressive. I mean, it is insane how aggressive she really is. There we go. That's a good view. I can't touch her. I've touched her once, and that was literally just to poke her on the tail, just to say, okay, I've touched her when I first put her in here. I really wish I could see more of her. I've heard that emperor scorpions come out a little bit more and are a little bit more just nice. But she's really interesting to have, and I like her a lot. So I'm going to put her back in now. Make sure I don't get any of her crushed in there. And nope, she looks good. So that's Jasmine, and now I'll go ahead and, well, I'm going to put the top on and stuff, but now I'm going to go ahead and take you over to my dubia and mealworm setup. Alright you guys, you might have seen it when I was over here messing with Angus and stuff, and I didn't really explain Angus's name. Bearded dragons are Australian bearded dragons. They're native to Australia. My favorite guitarist of all time is from the band AC/DC. His name's Angus Young. And, well, he's Australian. He's Australian. I just saw it as fitting. But, moving on. This is my mealworm colony, or culture, whatever you want to call it. Down here I have oats and meal and stuff. Whenever I would buy a tub of mealworms, I would just toss them in here with the meal and everything. I have this stuff from my bearded dragon. It's the Zilla bearded dragon diet. I kind of just threw it in there to see if they would eat it. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything, as well as some carrots to keep moisture in. They finally just started pupating, turning into aliens and stuff, so, you know, there's one of those weird little suckers right there. Because I have no beetles yet, but once I get some beetles, they'll be going up here, and I will be sifting out back into the bottom, and the cycle continues. Pretty easy setup. I have them back here on a mat, which I will show you in a second when I bring out the dubias, which is right now. So I'll just show you the mat first. This is a Jumpstart seedling mat. You can get these at most hydroponic stores or online at Amazon, eBay. They only cost like 25 bucks, and they work really, really well, especially when you have them in a small enclosed space as I do, because all they do is they generate heat. I mean, it's just a heat pad, and it's huge. It goes all the way under my mealworm thing. I would bring this out, but it was really hard to get in there. It goes all the way under my mealworm thing, and then it plugs in through a hole in the back of the center here. But my Dubai roaches are right here. I've just started this colony, so I really don't have a whole lot of them. I have a dish with some food in it, some of that Zilla diet, as well as those crystals, flukers, water things all around. My Dubaias are right down in here. That seems like a shed. Heck yeah, one of them shed. Yeah, that is a shed. Awesome, that means they're growing. I can throw that in the trash. There's this one's alive. Yep, that's one of the older ones right there. Alright. Not an adult. I don't have very many adults in here. At the pet store I asked them, give me adults, and they gave me big. They didn't necessarily give me adult. But get back in there. Anyways, that's my Dubai roach colony. I've just got cocoa coir down here on the bottom to keep in humidity. Some of these paper towel rolls, I change those up every once in a while just so they don't mold. And it's just got a netted top hot glued onto it, and it slips right into here, and it sits on top of the heating pad, and it keeps that thing at the proper temperature. Well, that's all I got on my reptile room, or office room, whatever you want to call it today. I will be updating as soon as I get some new additions to the collection. I plan on getting a red knee tarantula if I can get the permission from my wife, as well as I'll update as soon as I do the green anole in the fire belly tank. And I am planning on doing a couple more vivarium builds just for the fun of it, or terrarium builds if you want to call it that. But other than that, have a good day and thanks for joining.